Hey guys, I just want to say you guys are all great patients. You know, you guys do such a great job of brushing your teeth. You do such a great job of flossing your teeth. There's no way you should have any problems with your teeth, right? Wrong. Now, first of all, most of you are great patients. A lot of people that I tell, instructions to start improving the way that they brush and floss, they actually listen to me and they actually do a lot of the work at home. But the problem is, a lot of people can do all the right things, but they still have a lot of tooth problems. They still have like cracked teeth, they still have a lot of erosion or wear on their teeth, and their teeth are still sensitive, and something is still going on. Brushing and flossing is just not enough nowadays. Why is that? So today I want to talk a little bit about that. Like, what aside from just not brushing and flossing enough is damaging your teeth? Well, the two biggest things that are damaging our teeth, and really the only two things that are damaging our teeth, are one, our habits, and two, our diet. So let's go over that. There are a lot of habits that we do that are just terrible for our teeth and we don't even realize it. Like, for one, chewing on ice. You should not be munching on ice. So when you get that cold beverage and you're almost done with it and you see all that tasty ice at the bottom, don't chew on it, please. So chewing on ice is only gonna make our teeth more likely to crack. So this is a really bad habit that a lot of people do, and I've seen a lot of cases where people were munching on ice too much and eventually one of their teeth just break. And this can be really painful, and sometimes you can even lose a tooth if this happens. The reason our teeth are prone to cracking if we chew on ice is it's not just like one ice cube that's gonna hurt our teeth, right? It's the constant chewing on ice throughout our life. So if we frequently do this, if we do this a lot of times, then over time, our teeth are gonna get weaker and weaker. Our teeth only get weaker as we age. The more we use our teeth, the more that they go through, the more damage we put them through, and the more they're at risk of breaking. So if we're chewing on ice, we're kind of just speeding up that whole process. The next habit is chewing your nails. So really similar to chewing ice, but this is more like your front teeth. So chewing ice is more with our back teeth. Now, chewing our nails is more with our front teeth. Now, if we chew our nails a bunch, one, that's disgusting because you have all these bacteria under your nails and that's gonna get into your mouth and you're gonna have a much higher likelihood of getting sick. But now, just talking about your teeth, now you can risk chipping these front teeth. And you might have really beautiful, pretty front teeth, but the more they start chipping, the more we're gonna start to see some imperfections with them, and the less they're gonna look aesthetic. And another bad habit that we have is grinding our teeth. Now, this is a terrible one, and it's a pretty common problem, and a lot of times people either grind their teeth during the daytime, and other times people grind their teeth during the nighttime, and other times people do it during both times. Both of them are bad. And there's a lot of different factors that go into grinding our teeth. It's not just one thing that causes us to grind our teeth. There's a lot of things, like one, it could be stress related, it could be a sleep issue, and there could be a whole list of other stuff going on. And I actually made another video about us grinding our teeth and how we can naturally stop grinding our teeth, and I'm putting a link to that video in the description below. Another bad habit is you're brushing way too hard. Guys, I'm so proud of you that you're brushing your teeth and you really want to scrape off all those plaque, all that bad bacteria, but you don't want to brush too hard. First, if you're using anything other than a soft bristle toothbrush, throw it away. Or you can use it to clean your toilet. That's about it. You should only be using a soft bristle toothbrush on your teeth. And anything more than that is just starting to damage our teeth and our gums. And the other thing is we're pushing way too hard when we're brushing. Now, we should really be just massaging our teeth when we brush our teeth, not scraping them. So when we're pushing really hard, again, we're wearing away that top layer of our teeth and we're just damaging our gums. Now, over time, this can lead to some lesions forming on our teeth, and it can also cause our gums to start receding. And another bad habit, and this is really a lot more in kids, is sucking on our thumbs. So if you have a kid or you know a kid that's sucking their thumb a lot, you definitely want to stop that habit ASAP. And the reason is, you may think it looks cute, but it's basically putting a lot of pressure on the front of our mouth and a lot of pressure on our front teeth. Over time, that's going to cause our front teeth to start to stick out. They're going to start to basically protrude. And this is going to cause a lot of crowding later on, and it can make your teeth more crooked. And also, it's going to basically constrict your mouth. It can make your mouth more narrow and constricted, and now you're gonna have a hard time breathing later on if this is never corrected. And also, like the last, probably the worst bad habit people are doing is using tobacco. So whether you're doing tobacco pouches, chewing tobacco, cigarettes, cigars, everything that has tobacco in it is terrible for our mouth. Basically, any dental problem you can think of, tobacco can contribute to it. So whether we're talking about gum disease, cavities, oral cancer, all of these things can be caused or at least contributed to by using tobacco. So you can see that our habits play a big role as well. And it's not just about brushing and keeping our teeth clean. So if any of these habits are something that we're doing, we definitely want to work on that if we want to make sure that we have healthy teeth for the rest of our life. Now, another big thing, and the second big thing I want to talk about, is our diet. Now, our diet is the biggest contributor to cavities and gum disease. So what does that mean? Well, let's say we have one person that brushes and flosses really well, but they have a terrible diet, and they're basically eating sugar all the time, and they're drinking acidic food, acidic beverages all the time. Now, let's compare this person to someone who has a great diet. And this person has a great diet, but they're not brushing their teeth and they're not flossing all that much. Well, I would rather be that person. I would rather be the person that has a great diet, because that person is going to be much less likely to get cavities and gum disease, even though they don't brush and floss their teeth. Now, I'm not saying brushing and flossing isn't important. I'm saying your diet is even more important. So what are the worst things in our diet? Now, obviously one of the big ones is sugar. So whether we get our sugar from soda or food like candies and sweets, these are the worst things in our diet. And the reason is we have these bacteria in our mouth. And these bacteria love to eat these sugars. So when these sugars come into our mouth and all these leftovers start hanging around on our teeth, these bacteria will start to eat these sugars, and then in return they start releasing these acids. So after these bacteria eat, they poop out these acids, and these acids will sit on our teeth. Now, our teeth are really strong, but when these acids are on our teeth, they'll start to damage our teeth and cause holes to form. And these holes are what we call cavities. Now, it's not just sugar. So let's say I'm drinking like diet soda or something like that, or something that's sugar-free. Well, a lot of times these drinks are acidic. So let's say you're drinking like a lemonade that's sugar-free, or a Gatorade that's sugar-free, or any pop that's sugar-free. All these things are great because they don't have sugar, but they're really acidic. And just drinking them throughout the day and constantly sipping on them is going to weaken our teeth. And it's actually going to start dissolving our teeth. Now, let's say we're not eating sugar, but we're eating a lot of carbohydrates. Well, this is still a problem. So let's say you're eating a lot of bread throughout the day, you're eating a lot of crackers or goldfish. That's not really sugar, right? It's not like you're eating like a candy bar. It's not like you're sucking on a lollipop or something like that. But this is still terrible for your teeth because, again, there's still carbohydrates, and those bacteria in our mouth can still eat those carbohydrates. Now, some of these aren't going to be as bad as sugar, but a lot of them are really bad still, like especially those starchy ones, like crackers, goldfish, Cheez-Its. All of these things can just destroy our teeth. And I'm not saying you should never eat these stuff. Like, you can still eat them in moderation, but the biggest thing I want you to take into account is how frequently are you eating these? So are you frequently just snacking on goldfish throughout the day, or are you eating it all in one sitting? Are you frequently sipping on a pop throughout the day, or are you drinking it all at once and then not drinking it for the rest of the day? It's a lot worse to frequently sip on it throughout the day. Even if you're taking a small sip and you're doing this throughout the day, that's terrible for you. I'd rather have you drink a whole cup just all at once. And the reason is, even if a little bit's entering our mouth, it's still feeding those bacteria on our teeth, and the acids are still damaging our teeth. Now, this is not giving enough time for our mouth to recover, because we have this saliva in our mouth, which is kind of like a buffer. It's kind of like a bodyguard for our teeth. So our saliva can wash away a lot of these sugars, it can wash away a lot of the acids, and it can really protect our teeth. So if we are constantly sipping on it throughout the day, it's not allowing our saliva, it's not giving our saliva enough time to clean away our teeth and to protect our teeth. Now, if you were to do all of this at once and you stop doing it for the rest of the day, well, now you're giving your saliva a lot of time to recover. So this isn't nearly as bad as sipping on acidic or sugary beverage throughout the day. Now, the last thing I want to talk about in regards to your diet is if you're not getting enough vitamins and minerals. Now, we always hear our parents talking about that to make sure we're getting our vitamins, make sure we're eating a healthy meal, make sure we're getting all the different food groups to make sure we get all our vitamins and minerals. And we always say like, oh, that's super annoying. Let me eat what I want. What do vitamins and minerals even do? Like, they're not even that important. Well, your vitamins and minerals are actually one of the most important things to make sure you have healthy, strong teeth and healthy, strong gums. For example, calcium. Calcium, we always hear, is so important for having healthy bones and strong bones. Well, a lot of the minerals that are in our bones are the same minerals that go into our teeth. So our calcium is also really important for having strong teeth. And where do we get calcium? Well, a big source is dairy, but we can also get it from a lot of leafy greens as well. Now, while we're talking about calcium, there's other vitamins that are important to make sure we absorb our calcium. And one of those is vitamin D. And vitamin D is really important, again, for having strong bones and strong teeth because it helps us absorb our calcium. So if we're getting a lot of calcium, but we're not getting vitamin D, well, we're not going to absorb that calcium. So where do we get vitamin D? Well, obviously the sunlight. We always hear go outside, and the reason is we need to get our vitamin D. And another important vitamin for our diet is vitamin C. So have you ever heard of something called scurvy? This is actually something that was like really common with pirates back in the day. And it's basically when people had a really bad diet, they would have a lot of problems with their teeth and their gums. So scurvy is when you have a lack of vitamin C because you have a poor diet, and now you have these swollen, bleeding gums, and the reason is they didn't get enough vitamin C in their diet. So vitamin C is really important for collagen. And this is really going to help maintain our teeth and our gums and repair our teeth and our gums when needed. And a big source of this is oranges and some other fruits. And again, going back to calcium, another important mineral that works together with calcium is phosphorus. So again, phosphorus is really important for having healthy, strong teeth and healthy, strong bones. And a big source for phosphorus is things like fish, eggs, and a lot of different meats. So there's a lot of different vitamins and minerals that are important for our teeth. And I don't want to keep boring you, but things like vitamin A, vitamin K, potassium, all of these are also really important for our teeth. Now, what's another really good source for a lot of these vitamins? Well, one is basically clarified butter. So some people might call this ghee, which you might see in a lot of Indian stores. Punjabis, which is my native language, call it ghee. So this is basically a really good way to get a lot of those natural fats that we need. And you may think like, oh, fat is so bad for you. Why would I want fat? It's a really big misconception to avoid fat. One thing I would definitely avoid, obviously, is sugar, but fat is actually pretty good for us. I made another video where I talk a little bit more about this, and I'm putting a link to that video in the description below. But in a nutshell, fat is going to help us absorb our fat-soluble vitamins. And a lot of those fat-soluble vitamins are important for our teeth and our gums, and not just that, also our whole body in general. I actually use this all the time. So this is actually really easy to use because you can just cook with it. So instead of using oil or butter, just use this to cook anything that you're cooking, and now you're gonna get a lot of those fat-soluble vitamins that you might have been missing out on. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you liked that video, and if you haven't already, please hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel below. I will see you in the next video.